Good morning, guys. We're going to be spending the next week with this Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio, the Italian brand's high-performance SUV. You can tell it's a Quadrifoglio because of the four-leaf clover badges that are on the side. You also can see them inside on the door sills. This thing's stickered for just over $94,000, among which it has $8,000 carbon ceramic brakes. Looking forward to living with this thing for a week, showing you guys running errands, daily driving it, and hopefully taking on some fun roads. Let's get in and go. We're gonna take the Alfa Romeo as the film car today. First things first, I gotta load up tripod, sliders, backpacks in the back. This is actually not a huge truck. Remember, this is not a gigantic crossover SUV. So I'm gonna put the rear seats down. So we'll figure out how to do that. Looking earlier, I think actually, yes, the latches are down here. Pull that, slides forward. You know, I need to move that seat. Put a latch down here. Seat goes that. There you go. It's actually pretty spacious. 2 backpacks, a gimbal, slider, and a tripod. We're okay. We'll close the trunk. I really like a lot of the details on this interior. You can see this green and white stitching that's across every single kind of intersection. And then we have some nice carbon fiber trim there. And then on the door sills, we have a little shamrock motif that's echoed across a couple times. The seats are a combination of Alcantara and leather. They're actually pretty aggressively bolstered, so they'll hold you in there. Got a little Alfa Romeo logo embossed on the headrest itself. Talk a little bit more about the interior as we spend more time with the car. Let's hop in and get going. It's sunny out today, so silver looks a little bit better. This is a complete cold start of the Quadrifoglio. Made it to Platinum Motor Cars. They also have some cool stuff here. Saya just picked himself up a new toy, this Viper ACR, beautiful spec. Got a Volcano Orange 570S. Alpha's been good so far. I think sounds good. Stelvio Quadrifoglio. We got Syed's new Viper ACR. It's strange to see Syed driving this because he's GT3 man, paint to sample GT3 in a 911R, but undeniable track monster. Done with a day of filming, back in the Alfa Romeo. Gonna drive back home. It's about an hour-long drive back to Ann Arbor. The Alfa's actually decent on the freeway. It's quick. It rides a little bit on the firm side. Even when you're not in full aggressive suspension mode, it rides moderately firm, and it's quick, and it sounds good, so I almost always keep throwing it into dynamic mode or race mode and flooring it, so my fuel economy hasn't been great. Check out what it looks like late at night with all the lights lit up. You can see normal window switch stuff here. I actually like it. Still has like conventional mechanical analog dials for the tachometer and the speedometer. Revs to 6,500 RPM with a digital screen in the middle. They can change when you're going across like this. You can see I've been averaging 12.8 miles per gallon, which is frankly not brilliant. The center screen here, we're gonna talk about more as I use it a little bit more, but my initial complaint is, I think I'm discovering Android Auto sucks if you don't have a touchscreen. Same thing with Apple CarPlay, because you're using a little rotary knob that clicks and stuff, like a Audi MMI system. All the modern, they have touchscreens. So we've got the Stelvio stage. We're gonna do some B-roll for the review of the car. Drove it all the way. It was about a 45-minute drive up to, we're in Heartland, Michigan, right? Yeah. We're in Heartland, Michigan. There are horses back there. So the Stelvio, it's pretty good. On the freeway, it's got a lot of power. I have not been averaging very good fuel economy in this because it's 500 horsepower and I enjoy accelerating in it. Put some gas in already, and it rides a little bit on the firmer side. especially if you put the dampers, if you put it into full race mode, it gets pretty harsh. Wind noise is a little bit more than some of the other competitors, the little bit more luxurious versions of it. Now this is a luxury performance crossover, but from the luxury standpoint, I don't think it quite matches things like a Macan or a Mercedes or something like that. But in terms of pure performance, this is awesome. I think it's fast. It is surprisingly fast. For 505 horsepower, it's been clocked 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds. Like 3.4, I think is what Car and Driver got. On the inside, without a doubt, my favorite aspect of the Quadrifoglio are these shifter paddles. Talked about it when I reviewed the Giulia. It is made of metal, so it is very solid. You got the plus sign and a minus sign that are actually machined out. And they're massive. Look at that. They're column melted. They make the ones in my R7, and they are kind of cheap and plasticky. Feel cheap and plasticky. These are beautiful. More performance cars should have really, really nice paddle shifters, column mounted. They are great. Steering wheel, push button start, and it's red because race car. Alfa Romeo badge. Center console, it's kind of on the basic size. Also, this thing doesn't really have a good sounding cold start or any sort of startup because the valves won't open immediately. Even if you have it in dynamic mode, which it is currently set in D for dynamic. When you turn it on, it's all right, but still sounds pretty good. It's loud. So when you put it into normal, everything kind of calms down, it's quiet. As soon as you put it in dynamic, you can hear the exhaust kind of perk up, especially into full race mode. When you're in race mode, a lot of things are disabled. ESC is off, and then your like pre-collision warning assist is also off. It gets pretty rowdy in race mode. I actually got this thing to step out quite a bit. And little toggle switch here kind of goes through, allows you to really quickly. So if you're on the freeway cruising along in normal and you want to pass somebody, you just kind of go whoop, you're in race mode, it downshifts and you floor it and you're passing somebody and you're all of a sudden doing slightly over the speed limit by accident. We've got carbon fiber here, metal, the badge obviously, suede like Alcantara, and then leather. So all these different materials, the design is great. It's the perfect size and thickness. The beautiful paddles are right here fixed to the column. And then you've got your functionality going back and forth on tracks, voice commands when you're hooked in with your phone. It has adaptive cruise control. You can change your distances, set the speed and everything, and then engine start stop button right there, which really just reminds me of like a Ferrari or something because it's cool. This is really interesting. On the door above the cup holder, there's this etched into the actual plastic. It's got a little symbol of a water bottle with a cap on it, and then like that's a cup with a glass and a straw sticking out the side. Originally I thought it said water bottle, no fire extinguisher, but that little thing there apparently is a cup with a straw, so they don't want you to put open beverages in your cup holders. It's actually on both sides, like on this door too. You'll see the same little symbol right there. And then if you're around back, excuse the mess, we're filming, so stuff just got thrown in here. You want to put the rear seats down, you actually pop here, so you don't need to go to the front. Actual trunk, you can pop these, and then you gotta reach forward. You can push them down, so you have your flat load floor. Stop by my friend Jason's house to show him the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. He's got the TRD Pro 4Runner and this beautiful M3 CS. Swapped, actually, we still haven't filmed this or this. Nope. We did his Wrangler, and he had a regular F80 M3 and he upgraded to a CS. This paint is absolutely gorgeous. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think, Jason? You like it?
I do like it. It's a great car.
So you enjoy tracking cars now, but would you get something like this to track? Or would you get it as like a 4Runner replacement?
I would do it as an everyday driver.
Everyday driver, daily driver? Yeah.
Yep.
It's you thought about them at one point when they first came out, but
I did. Need a trailer hitch though.
So practicality issue, you can't get this with a trailer hitch, the Stelvio or the Quadrifoglio. And because you mountain bike and do all sorts of stuff, right?
I do.
Deal
Plus
breaker.
You can put a rack up on the roof.
I don't think you can do a roof rack on it.
It's glass roof.
Yeah, it's entire glass roof, so
Can't do it.
so that's a mark against the practicality. You lose a little bit. And like everybody has said, like those wheels. People like those wheels. Everybody's like, those little wheels look awesome.
They do.
Jason also did we did a carbon ceramic brake test, and it caused all of my camera equipment to come flying to the front of the vehicle. About to wrap up my week with the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. Just finished filming the in-car part of the review. I want to show you guys a couple more of the things that I've learned about this vehicle while living with it for the past week. So again, I think it looks great. Even though it's not in my favorite color, I don't love silver cars. I think this thing looks amazing. I love the hood vents on the Quadrifoglio. They look so cool. And then obviously the signature front Alfa Romeo grille, and then the wheels. We got a lot of comments on these wheels. Design is very cool. Obviously there's quite a bit of a wheel gap, but it's a crossover practical SUV. And then we got those $8,000 carbon ceramic brakes behind it. This is the red calipers. There are a couple different color options, I believe yellow and black. And then I really like the subtle Quadrifoglio badging. You don't have, like on like a BMW M car, I swear they like try to put as many M badges as is physically possible. Like if you look at an M235i or M240i now, you can count like 25 M badges on the outside. Alfa's a little more, I think, restrained with it. You got the quad badges, the Quadrifoglio badges on either side, and then around back, I don't think it even has a 4-leaf clover. It just has quad exhaust tips, says Q4. And then listen to the way this thing idles. It's in dynamic mode right now. It is surprisingly loud. This thing idling and then for sure under throttle and shifts is louder than my RS7 stock versus stock, which I was impressed at. I mean, in a parking structure, it echoes off, and then just driving around town, if you decide to hold first gear to red light and make a shift, it is really, really loud. So that's a cool thing. I think it's one of the best sounding V6s out there for sure. And then just look at the styling. Oh, I love the way this thing looks. The glove compartment of the Stelvio is minuscule. Like this is the owner's manual and some paper, and that's it. I swear, literally the Ferrari 488 has a larger one because I put the camera I'm using right now in it when I was in my friends' over the weekend. So here we have the window sticker, if the camera will focus, a total price of $94,190. A big part of that is that $8,000 Brembo ultra high performance carbon ceramic brakes. To get the sunroof, $1,350. A couple other options there, the driver assist package. Base price of $79,995, so 80 grand. It's a good amount of car for 80 grand. You inflate up the price with the options. I won't pretend $94,000 is not a very, very big amount of money to spend, but what you're paying for is that powertrain. I think the styling, the powertrain, it's an amazing motor. I absolutely love the way it sounds. I'll show you guys. Actually, it looks pretty good too. It is essentially, it's supposed to be derived from the Ferrari twin turbo V8, 505 horsepower, and it sounds so good. I showed you guys what it sounded like when it was idling back there under throttle. It's a great thing. And again, look at that hood. That's so cool. Let's see. Can I open this with one hand? Almost got it. There we go. And you see they're functional too. Like, that is 100% functional. It's not just visual. Got another Quadrifoglio badge in there. V6 from Alfa Romeo. It's clean. Obviously, everything modern now has an engine cover. I also thought it seems to be set pretty far back too, which is definitely a good thing for handling that V6 up there. I've had the car for a week. I've put 324 miles on it, and I've averaged only 14.8 mpg. That's not brilliant. Over the last 38 miles, I've averaged 12. And that kind of just, I mean, it's almost full and it's got 231 miles of range. Oops. I can only say that just is representative of how much fun this thing is to drive, because I'm not putting around in automatic or whatever A stands for. I don't remember the actual the word for it, but efficiency mode. I am trying to have all the fun I can with this thing, and it's addictingly fun to drive. So I definitely burned off a lot of dead dinosaurs. The giant panoramic sunroof is pretty nice. It doesn't open all the way. It opens about like up to here, I think. That's a nice touch. Now, let's talk a little bit about the infotainment and technology. I'm gonna have a few complaints. I do like actual analog speedometer and tachometer, because a lot of cars are going to the full digital. It's kind of nice to actually have needles moving there. We've got another little Quadrifoglio badge there. It does go to 200 miles an hour, which is cool. Digital display screen in the middle, basic, just the basic stuff there. We've got a G meter, we've got the speed, we've got the 2 trips, and like that's pretty much it. I think if you throw it into some other modes, it might pop up some other things. If you throw in a race mode, it says put it in manual. Some of the features turn off. And then normal mode, whatever, the color schemes will change. But put it into this like efficiency mode, it's got these weird things, which I'm actually not quite sure what they all mean. The color scheme will change slightly. And then, like, instead of a G meter to show your fuel economy. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video showing you guys the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. Make sure you check out the full review that I also did. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.